Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. Unfortunately, my camera has crashed off my computer, and the sad part about it is this computer is only about 9 months old, so I'm a little disappointed here. And it worked all morning long for the other leadership tracks. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. You'll be able to hear what I have to say, but you're not going to be able to see all the things that I wanted to share with you. So bear with me, and we will adjust, because that's what Toastmasters do. We adjust and we figure out ways to make things work. So here we are. So leadership is not about telling people what to do, about bossing them around, about dictating. Leadership is about leading and mentoring people to do what is best in the interest of the whole club, team, committee, business, or even family. Good afternoon. My name is Cindy Irvin. Welcome to my thoughts and experiences with leadership. I have owned my own business, assisted with my husband in running his business, and was the accounting manager for a small business in Des Moines. I'm the mama of 3 adult children and the nana of 5 gorgeous grandchildren. I have been married to my husband, Mark, for 33 years. I have been leading in many facets for many years. Many of my leadership skills have been via trial and error through the years. As I have matured, I have taken seminars, read books, and received my Competent Leadership Certificate through Toastmasters. Today, I'm going to share a lot of information that I have learned through the years, in hopes that you will not have to go through the errors that I have. Know that life is ever changing, so skills and knowledge are also ever changing. That said, always remember, some things never change. The number one thing you can do in leading people is to listen. I must admit, that's not one of my best virtues. Not only do you need to listen to their opinions, thoughts, ideas, you must absorb what they are saying. You cannot consider what they are saying if you are not listening to them. You may miss a few vital words in what they are saying if you are too busy thinking about how you might respond to a piece that they just said and miss another very key piece. Again, listening is vital. That piece that you might miss could be the key to the whole idea that they were trying to portray to you. It could be the most superb thing in extending your organization to a fuller and better capacity. You are better off telling them at the end of the chat that you will get back with them with your input on what they said, and retrace in your mind what they've said, and then get back to them with the best pieces that you can utilize, that they can be promoted and encouraged on what they shared with you. It is also vital to keep an open mind at what they are saying to you. They could even have a breakthrough on streamlining something that has been tripping people up forever. I remember working with someone that had been trying to wrap their head around something that was told to them in training as bill them at 25%. She did not have an accounting background, and it just didn't click in her mind. I was helping her out a few weeks after she had started and her training was over. And I said, just divide it by 4. That's 25%. This was the verbiage and the breakthrough that she needed to wrap her head around that bill them at 25%. This simple phrase, worded just a bit differently, was the most vital thing for her in the whole process. So remember to listen and sometimes rephrase something back to someone. What is the sweetest, most musical word a person can hear? Drop your thoughts into the chat group. Is it they're loved? Do they look nice? Is that the sweetest words they can hear? Or how beautiful they are? Or how smart and intelligent? Susie's all over this. While all those other things are great things to hear, the most connecting word a person will hear from you is their name. When you make it a point to learn and remember a person's name, they feel they matter. You took time to know them, that they are important in who they are and what they do. When a leader knows a person's name, it means something. In a company I worked for, the president of the company made it a point to have lunch each quarter with all the new hires in the office. I remember the time I was honored enough to get to go. It was in the conference room near his corner office upstairs. A nice lunch was brought in. He told us his name, a quick story of his advancement in the company, and a bit about his wife, kids, and grandkids, along with hobbies. He went around and asked each person their name. There was about a dozen of us, and what they do in the company, their family, their hobbies. To this day, if I run into him at a store or an event, he greets me and my husband by name and asks something about a topic we had on that day. He retired quite a few years ago, and this luncheon was over 15 years ago. That's right, 15 years ago. Not only does it make me feel that I matter on so many levels, it causes me to have so much respect for him as a leader. All that he did for our company, all that he did and still does in our community today. He gained my full respect. Since I stressed how important knowing people's names are, how do you learn and remember them? That used to be a super hard thing for me. It has improved over time. I'm still not as fluent as that past president was, but I'm getting better, and I'm going to share with you a few tricks and tips. First off, look at them when they are introduced. Or maybe you just walk up to them, stick your hand out, if COVID allows, and say, "Hi, my name is Cindy. What is yours?" Maintain your eye contact. This is when my camera would be great. But keep that eye contact when you're meeting them. Put your phone away, put it down, don't have it in front of you, and associate them with someone you know, maybe with the same name. Repeat their name multiple times in your conversation. Hi, Cindy, what do you do? Really? Well, Cindy, that's very interesting. Are you married, Cindy? In your head, you sound like you're saying their name over and over again, but they're hearing you repeat their name because their name matters and they're important. Remember, people love to hear their name. Another way that you might remember a name is the good old name game. How many of you guys remember the name game? You know, Cindy, Cindy, Bobindi, Banana, Fana, Fofindi, Fee, Fi, Momindi, Cindy. You guys are never going to forget my name. Yeah, have some fun with it. I promise I won't sing anymore the rest of this presentation, but have some fun. It helps us to associate and to fix those names in our brains. So I want to do an exercise here, and I'm not sure how we're going to do it without my camera. So I want all of you guys to turn on your cameras because we're going to see if we can make this work. We're just going to concentrate on first names due to this camera situation. Make it unique. Try to make your name stick out in my memory. Animate their name. Make it unique to them. For example, my name is Cindy. I am long-winded and I like to talk. And even when I was in Girl Scouts as a kid, I was thought of as Windy Cindy. Yes, there's that rhyming again. And I would either be talking or blowing on the fire to get it to ignite when we were out camping on the weekends. So imagine me waving my arms back and forth and blowing air at that fire to get it ignited, to get it started. Can you imagine that? Think about that. Windy Cindy. And picture me doing it. As you do that, it's going to be even harder for you to forget my name. Another example is my husband. Now, this isn't always politically correct, but it's my husband, and he's kind of one of those guys that's just plumb silly. But somebody will say, "What's your name?" And he'll say, "My name's Mark." Mark, did you say? Yeah, Mark, 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 like the hair-lip dog, you know, Mark, Mark, not bark, bark. So people think of him that way. So you could picture my husband with the long ears that you can put on your, little application on your phones where you put funny eyes and glasses on people. So I always imagine my husband with those ears and the little button nose of a puppy. And his name is Mark, 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 Mark. So each of you take a few seconds here and think of how you might animate your name and share that with us so we can remember your name. who has a thought?
I can go. My name is Susie. You know, like the song, "Oh Susie Q, oh Susie Q."
That's awesome. I promised I wouldn't sing. Susie didn't. So we got Susie Q. Kyoko?
Well, I cannot sing. I cannot rhyme like that, but I want to tell you the meaning of my name. Maybe you have no idea. Ka means flower. Yo means representative. And ko means daughter. My parents may have wanted to have a daughter like flower. I am flower.
Wonderful. I like that. Ben or Orville, would either of you like to share a thought of animating your name so we can remember it?
Oh, hi. I'm trying to get through my technological issues because I'm from computer and so on. Nonetheless, let me see if I can get you to see me on this phone that I have here. Right. There you go.
Awesome.
My name is Orville, and Orville, the meaning of it, I understand, is the village of gold. Or from the, the earth, like you have a rare mineral, and then ville for village. I think the origin is French, so it's Orville, village of gold. And you can think of an orange as well as you think about my name, because the O comes out there and R and so on. So that kind, in terms of a fruit, that kind of helps.
Orville the orange. All right, I'll remember that. That sounds great. We lost Ben. We must have scared him off.
The mayor of our hometown was Orville, so I can associate Orville with our mayor.
There you go.
And
We all make those visual connections in our minds, that animation of who each person is. So practice this as you're meeting new people over the next few weeks, and animate their names in your head with different thoughts and different things. So when you see that face again, you bring up that visual in your head, and you remember their names. And when you remember their names and you call them by name, you're going to deeply embrace something within them because they mattered enough to you to remember their names. So that's one of the best things you can do in developing leadership skills, is find ways to remember names. So wonderful. I'm really glad that you guys all participated in this and shared your names. So now let's talk about getting to know a person. So how do you build that relationship? Because when you have a relationship with someone, it can help you build integrity with them. It can help you build influence with them on how to get things done that are needed to be done in whatever project, club, business, department that you are leading. Okay, so how did my president remember all of that about me for so long? He made it a point to have a genuine interest in me and who I was. He wanted to learn my name, my home, my family, my work, my travel, my hobbies, and my ideas. Those ideas are so vitally important. In asking each of those items and giving me his undivided attention, he learned. So how did he retain this so that he could bring it back 15 years later and be able to retrieve it over and over again? Something I learned in a series of seminars recently is to create pictures in your mind, kind of like what we just did with our names. So close your eyes and visually imagine this story as I tell it. I see Windy Cindy blowing the wind around. I see her in her house. It's old, built in 1900 in the old section of Waukee. Oh, and there's Mark and 3 kids. Oh, they're adults. They have spouses and children with them. There's 5 children there. What is Cindy doing now? Oh, she's in her office. She's on the phone. Who's she talking to? Oh, she's talking to somebody about health insurance. The premiums, the coverages, all of it's rising. It's rising right up out of the chimney of that house she's living in. Oh, look. There's a huge 747 passenger jet. Cindy's whole family is on it. No, not her kids and grands. It's her siblings. They're off to the beaches.
Mhm.
You look out the window of that plane and you see her sitting on the wing of the plane with her easel and brushes, painting porch leaners, canvases, posts and blocks. And oh my, now there's a big bright light bulb above her head. And she's talking in front of a whole bunch of people. In this visual, I just asked the questions above and put them into a mental visual picture book, showing me the name, where her home is, what her family is, what she does in her job, her travels, her hobbies, and her ideas. You can use this same structure to put anyone in and lead you to ask those questions. So when you're meeting someone, ask the questions. Pick out their family, put their family in that house, have that job in that home office, have it blowing up through, all the way up through the chimney to that airplane, to talk about what their travels are and where their travels are taking them, who they're traveling with. How much crazier can it be to look out than to look out a window and seeing a hobby? Seeing them painting with an easel. This is the way that you can help yourself remember and recall things. The more crazy you make the picture, the more it's going to come back to you. Does anyone want to give it a try and put themselves, since you know the answers to your own story? Come on now. It'd be fun, and I would learn more about you. We're We're going to have a lot of time at the end if somebody doesn't jump forward. Come on, this is our impromptu speech of the day.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, the
Look
thing is,
at you.
I was not in this session. I was in another session, and I just was sampling and hot by, so I missed some of what you said. It sounded so interesting. Decided to come back. So if
Okay.
someone, I love that.
Okay. Well, we will go on, but if somebody changes their mind, put their name in the chat box and I'll pull you out. Think about it for a minute and we'll see what comes out of it.
So may I ask you?
Sure.
So you are asking to talk about us to be remembered better using our name.
So we first talked about our name and your flower story. So that was the animation in our mind
Yes.
to remember your name.
Yes.
So if I had just met you, Keiko,
Yeah.
I would say, hi, my name is Cindy. What is yours?
Yes.
And then I would say, so do you live around here?
Hmm.
And then you might tell me, yeah, I live in Waukee too, but I'm over on the new side. And then I might say, well, are you married? Do you have children?
Hmm.
And no, I don't have any kids, and I've never been married, but I have the cutest puppies and they're my babies, you know?
Hmm.
And so what do you do for a job, Keiko?
I am a freelance translator. I'm working from home, so there is not much influence of COVID situation because I'm just working from home.
Okay, you're working from home.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you like to travel at all?
Not exactly. So it is good situation because I don't really like traveling, except when I go back to Japan once a year. Otherwise, I don't really travel.
Keep it pretty close to home.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when you go to Japan, what is your favorite thing to do?
I don't know if it is a favorite or not. The main purpose to go back to Japan is to take care of my parents.
I get that.
My father is living alone. Then I always do household chores, cleaning, cooking, laundry, shopping.
Sounds like you have your hands full when you go back to Japan.
Yeah, but that is fun. It's okay.
So do you have any children, Keiko?
No,
No
I've
children?
never. So I always say, well, this doesn't work in the United States. Why? I'm single. Why should I have children? I've never married.
Well, that's okay. Do you have any pets?
No.
No?
Because another job. I am a mood doctor. Do you understand? Mood doctor.
A mood doctor.
Mood doctor. Mood.
A cow doctor?
I am a veterinarian. I love cows. Dairy cows. So I say I am a mood doctor.
A mood doctor.
Moo, yeah, moo.
That's awesome.
Well, because cows are so big and I don't like to take responsibility, I don't have any pets.
Okay. Okay. So what do you do for hobbies?
I like just working. Now I'm retired and have a different job. So I'm working from home, doing translation.
Mhm,
I like working.
mhm.
Well, and Toastmasters.
That's a great hobby. I like
Oh yeah,
Toastmasters.
it takes time. Toastmasters.
So do you have any ideas for your Toastmasters? What's your goals?
Because I was very shy and couldn't speak in front of many people. I don't even like personal conversation. But because of Toastmasters Club, I can now talk in front of many people. And because of Toastmasters Club, I like leadership. So this, your presentation is very good because I want to improve my leadership skills. And also I want many people to realize about Toastmasters. Many people do not know how much benefits they can receive if they join. So that
That's
is my mission. So I want to open many people's eyes to Toastmasters.
That's a wonderful idea and goal that you have set, not only for yourself, but for Toastmasters, and especially those people you share it with when they capitalize on it.
Yeah.
That's a very great information and it's wonderful to get to know you more, Keiko.
Thank you.
So in hearing that, how am I going to remember this when I see Keiko again? You know, it may be spring if we get to have the conference again. So how am I going to remember that?
Well, many people say Kayoko is full of energy.
You are correct. I would agree with that statement. So here's how I'm going to remember it. I'm going to build my animation on what I just learned about her. So I see Keiko with this exciting, brilliant smile with the flowery petals around her head. That is where her name came from. And I know that she lives here in Iowa, but she's from Japan, and that's where her father lives.
Yeah.
And I know she doesn't have any, she isn't married, she has no children, but she loves cows. And she's a moo doctor. That's what she likes to call herself.
Yes.
And she doesn't really travel much except for around the local areas. Except for one time a year, she goes to see her daddy over in Japan. And her job is translating and working with those cows because she just loves them to death. And her favorite hobbies are just working with that and sharing all of the wonderful things and opportunities that Toastmasters has to share with everyone else, because she knows those benefits, because she was super shy and now she loves to visit and talk and speak in front of people, and she does a fabulous job. And that is those crazy animations that I'm going to build so that when I see her next spring, hopefully, fingers crossed, arms crossed, toes and legs too, I'm going to see her at spring conference, and I'm going to be able to talk to her about how she is in achieving her goals in Toastmasters and how her trip was to see her dad, and if she's been able to make it over since we visited in November. So those are the things that can help you relate to people and build your leadership skills. Thank you, Keiko, for sharing all that information with me. And were they hard questions?
No. Well,
No.
well, you are so good. You are very good listener, and so making a story. That is wonderful. Yo, I've never thought about it.
And that's the piece of it. All of us do these skills. We just do little bits and pieces of it so many various times. We don't put it all together. And if we put it all together, then we have that stronger connection, that stronger relationship. So those leadership skills and mentoring skills to those people can grow and nurture and become stronger and better over time. So I just want to say, you always want to make sure you're being friendly. Smile, talk, be interested in their interests. Show and give appreciation for what they do. Do not be condescending or gripey. That is a bummer down cold. Don't do that. With all sincerity, make people believe and actually feel that they matter by listening to their interests. Can you utilize their interest in an analogy to promote your idea? Maybe I need some more members for my club. And I know Kyoko is so fired up about what she has been able to learn from Toastmasters, that her analogies and her interests are key in promoting my ideas through her. Maybe golf is their favorite thing to do. Maybe the way golf is scored, it could be used as that tool in managing the seating in a restaurant during the COVID capacity restrictions. A seating scorecard, per se. Think about how their interests might be able to be utilized to help your group, your club, your organization, your department, your business. My grandma Esther always said two things. The first one was, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And two, kill them with kindness. She was a very quiet woman, and it still makes me wonder what she would have liked to have said. You know what I mean? Anyway, following these two statements will help you to be friendly and not condescending, no matter their attitude. Do not let someone being argumentative suck you in. You can respect their opinion without alienating your own opinion or saying you are wrong. You are not. You're entitled to your own opinion. It's that agree to disagree perspective. And sometimes you just got to let them rant and find a point that's good for walking away or changing the subject when they get into that testiness. If you need them on your point of thought, remember to be friendly. Listen to their point of view, their ideas, and work your thoughts and ideas into theirs to make it a joint endeavor, and let them feel like it was their idea. You can also help them by getting excited to be on board with you, and maybe could even appeal to their moral philosophies of the situation. Be sure to ask. Do not order. Unless you are in the military, do not order people around. They deserve to be asked. Finally, you may need to challenge your team to get them on board. Challenges can build camaraderie. When dealing with a sticky situation, always start off with true appreciation and praise. Only point out mistakes indirectly. Share your own mistakes before calling out someone else's. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. Never point out someone's mistakes in front of someone else. Do it privately. It just embarrasses them, humiliates them. That's not why you're wanting them to be knowledgeable of their mistakes. You want them to learn from those mistakes and go forward. Let them save face. Encourage them. Help them to know that it can be fixed. And many times it's not that difficult to fix it. And even if it is difficult, do they really need to know? Remember to praise. Praise each and every improvement. Give your people a reputation they can aspire to live up to. Be the best you can be. If you're being the best you can be, they'll want to be their best of themselves. So now let's talk about worry for a few minutes. Do not let worry in life overwhelm you. We all have worries. Whether it's your spouse having back ages, your parent has cancer, your grandchild is a teenager, and that's enough said there. Work is downsizing, work is busy, a derecho went through your house, you need new tires and can't afford them. You're scared of getting COVID, you worry about getting COVID and dying if you get it, etc., etc., etc. How can we handle all the chaos that each of us have coming and going in our lives and still keep it together? Because we have to keep it together to be able to lead well. First off, remember that worry only causes more trouble, specifically when it comes to your health. What tools can we use to keep that worry at bay? Number one, just face that trouble. What's the worst that can happen? What can you do to accept what is what it is? Is there anything I can do to improve the outcome of the worst? Gather the facts on what you are worrying about. Once you have all these facts assessed, make a plan, follow the plan. Write down your problem and what caused it. What solutions are possible? And of those solutions, which of the solutions is the best? Live in today. Do not worry about tomorrow or the next day. Do what you can to improve tomorrow based on the facts. Maybe that is as simple as wearing a mask whenever you go out of your home. Wear the mask today. Wear the mask this trip. Don't let the COVID scare you. Do what you can. What's within your power to prevent it. That's all you can do. I admit I have a habit of worrying. I used to be much worse. A great thing to do when you're indulging in your worries is get busy. Staying busy will usually take your mind off of whatever is pushing your buttons. Don't sweat the small stuff. Research the law of averages. What's the chances that what you're worrying about is really going to happen? Because many times it ain't going to happen. Is it really worth the worry? Worrying about downsizing at work? It is what it is. When you got this job, you were looking for it. You'll find something again. While we are hitting all of these worries, don't forget to let go of yesterday's worries. They are over, and they are what they are. Don't let them keep dragging you down. It's over. What is your attitude? Are you at peace with your attitude? Are you happy? I know Kyoko is. She's always excited and happy. Is your glass half full rather than half empty of positive thoughts? Have the courage to step out of your comfort zone. You may find you love something that you never would have found had you not taken that first step. Take care of your health. That's important. Eat right, exercise, get your sleep. I am running on about 4 hours today, but by golly, get your sleep. 5:35 is nap time, I'm telling you. Rest before you get tired. And don't worry about insomnia. The more you worry, the more insomnia you're going to have. So don't worry about it. Worrying about it will only make it worse. Have hope. There is always hope. Even when you think you are facing the worst of the worst, have hope. I know many people in Toastmasters were affected by the derecho that went through this summer. My aunt and uncle lost the roof off their bedroom. My aunt calls me up and she goes, "Hey, I hear that the derecho hit Waukee." And I said, "Oh, it wasn't bad here. You know, we were without power for about 12 hours and the neighbors lost their privacy fence and a few limbs. But, you know, we trimmed out a bunch of trees earlier this spring. So we were really sitting pretty good." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, well," she goes, we got a tree limb in our bedroom and, you know, so we have a really nice skylight now." My girls came down from northern Iowa. They live clear up by the border. And she goes, they came down and helped us move some stuff around. And I said, "But everybody's okay?" "Yep, we're all fine." "Okay, well, if you need anything, you guys just holler." Okay. So then a few hours later, their daughter posts a picture on Facebook. Yeah, their skylight was the whole roof of their bedroom. So, you know, count your blessings. You know, they're still living in that house. They're living in one of the other bedrooms. They're not living in their bedroom. So count your blessings. My uncle's getting a little frustrated though because it's not fixed and he's ready to get Florida, but it'll come. It's always easy to count your troubles, but if you start counting your blessings, you will most likely find out your blessings way outnumber your troubles. Whether it's your friends, your church, your fellow Toastmasters. My husband is someone is really good at counting his blessings. When somebody asks him, "Hey, Mark, how you doing?" He's always saying, "I'm great. I woke up breathing today." Breathing is one of his blessings. All of our blessings. And we don't even think about it consciously. It just happens. It's just the way we're made. But if we didn't wake up breathing, it would probably not be a very great. Know that people that are not going to be appreciative, that people are not always going to be appreciative of what you do for them. And that's okay. Accept it. Remember what Grandma Esther said? Kill them with kindness. And I'll add, anyway. Kill them with kindness anyway. Do things to make others happy. Someday you will most likely look back and be happy that you made them happy. And they probably will look back and see fond memories. Your reward isn't them showing you the appreciation, but the happiness is being able to do something for your fellow man and feel good about helping them. Be that proverbial hand up. Do not intimidate them or imitate them or anyone. Blaze your own path. Be happy and at peace with who you are. There is no one like you, and that's awesome. When you have losses, learn from them. How can you turn that into a positive? That tree that broke off in the storm, cut it off, put a roof on it, a door in front, and you've just made it into a gnome home. Always do the absolute best you can. You will make mistakes, but if you are trying to do the best you can, someone else's criticism is irrelevant. When you make a mistake, analyze it and criticize yourself. Own it, learn from it, and then go on. Sometimes the criticism is not just as many times, many times criticism is not just, it's not deserved. But many times it's just a compliment in disguise because maybe they're a little jealous. Or maybe they really like what you did, they just don't know how to say a nice thing. Remember the boys on the playground tormenting the girls because the boys were really sweet on the girls, but they didn't know how to tell the girls they were sweet on them, so they just tormented them. Maybe they're just sweet on you. And when all else fails, pray. Turn it over to your higher power. Let them carry the load for a bit. Now, how many of you remember the names of everyone in this room? And will you remember it at the spring conference on April 30th and May 1st? See if you can put the names in your memory banks and pull them out in the spring. Practice these methods with people you meet. Reach out to that person you don't know very well. Smile, show interest, and start a conversation. Compliment them. You may be walking by a key person for your future and not even know it. A lot of this information in my presentation today, I have learned through many different failures of my own. And I have also learned a lot of it in reading different books. One of my favorite books is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And there are many Zig Ziglar books that are very good also. He has marketing books, motivational speaking books, and self-improvement books. And then any of the Toastmaster paths are wonderful in helping you improve your leadership skills. Find a mentor too. That is always a wonderful thing. Our next session today is going to be Toastmasters and Rotary, Building the Bridge, presented by DTM Teresa Mickelson on the leadership link, which is right here. Professionally Captivating Your Audience, presented by Dave Spencer, and he will be on the communication link. Leadership 101 will be presented by our dear friend Orville, and he will be on the Toastmaster link. All of these are going to begin at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. And I would like to close with a quote from Benjamin Franklin, from the past, but still very relevant today. Tell me, and I forget. Teach me, and I may remember. Involve me, and I learn. Thank you, everyone.